and welcome to Leslie Ray's Crafty Gig. My name is Leslie Ray, and tonight we are going to be working on what I call an upcycled art journal. It is going to be using recycled materials like old magazines or brochures, and scrapbook papers that you just kind of have lying around, and junk mail and envelopes and all that kind of fun stuff. So to get started, what you need is some magazines or brochures. As you know, I work for a travel agency, so I have the extreme honor of being able to find some really cool jazzy things, but I've also seen these done with magazines. So if you want to craft along and you want to run and get your junk mail and your magazines and that kind of stuff, I'm going to show you something else that I got in the mail today, so that y'all can do that while I show something fun I got in the mail today, because it's really cool. Are y'all ready to see what I got in the mail? You need a drink? Okay, I'll wait, Fab, because you need to see what I got in the mail. So today is Veterans Day, and I've had many people in my life and in my family's lives fight for our country. Bill's family, they go all the way back to the American Revolution in fighting for the country. I'm sure if we get far enough back, our family does too. I know my mom's family at least goes back to the Civil War, if not further back. They're kind of hanging under the radar, so I don't know exactly how far back they go, but I know my gramps, my mom's dad, fought for our country. And if you're a fan of, or if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you saw a picture of him in his uniform looking all handsome. And then on my dad's side, my grandfather, Gramper, we called him Gramper, his name was Marion Drew, he also fought. And my dad posted one of the pictures today of my grandfather, and then I can remember one other picture of him in his uniform and all these Quonsets in the snow when he was stationed up in Alaska. So it's a special day for us. On the square we had a service at the courthouse and had a 21 gun salute and all kinds of stuff like that. So that was really cool. And of course all the flags are out around the square, which is very pretty to watch. I took a couple of pictures of some flags today, and thought on my family members. Currently my Uncle Lewis is in the reserves, and he goes back and forth to Iraq. He's been back and forth several times, at least I think 3 tours. If Mom comes in, she may correct me, but without them, we are the land of the free because of the brave. Without them, we wouldn't be who we are. So yeah, I've seen several photos that my friends have been putting up of their loved ones, their veterans, and that's awesome. That's awesome. We should thank them every day, not just today, but they're always in our hearts and on our minds. So, did anybody go to any special ceremonies today? I know, Amanda, your kids were off, but did y'all make it to the parade, or? Oh, yeah. I appreciate you coming even though you have a migraine. Migraines are no fun. My beverage tonight is black cherry Kool-Aid. Amanda's is water. Fab is going to go get a cup of something. Not sure what. Ooh, ginger ale. I like ginger ale. I brought home Sprite because I could buy Sprite in a 1-liter bottle and not a 2-liter bottle, and I couldn't buy 7-Up in a 1-liter bottle. So I brought home Sprite, and my son asked me, well, whose Sprite is that? And I said, that is for the biscuits. And he's like, for the biscuits? And I said, yeah, for the biscuits. And he said, why do the biscuits need Sprite? And I said, because we're making 7-Up biscuits. And he said, but we have Sprite. I said, well, it's going to work. It just is. So I hope it works. I haven't made 7-Up biscuits before, but they looked like fun. And I felt I was in a food rut. So I bought a bunch of food that is going to make dishes we've never had before. And so you'll be seeing photographs of them and if they went well or not. So what I've really been hungry for, and I need to get Joy to send me the recipe, is Big Red ice cream is what I've really been hungry for. So Joy, if you're hearing me, honey, please send me the Big Red ice cream cake. It's Dawn. Hi, Dawn. I'm glad you snuck in. If somebody would go poke Sigrid and tell her to come on. Yes, it is easy. I can remember it's easy, and I remember I need Big Red and some sweetened condensed milk and an ice cream machine. That's about as far as I get. So I'm like, The other thing I've been really hungry for, this used to be my favorite time of the year, because either at Thanksgiving or at Christmas, we would see my Aunt Joy, and when we would go there, she would make this awesome fruit salad with bananas and pineapples and vanilla pudding, I think. I have the recipe for that written down somewhere, but oh my goodness, that was so good. That was one of my favorite things. And then she would bake and bake. I don't know how long she would bake and make cookies and candies and stuff. And so when you came to her house, it was just like open house 24/7. She had this stuff just set out. And yes, crushed pineapple. And oh, yum. You know. And you know I like to eat, so yeah. She always had a good spread. No matter what, there was always a good spread. So I was thinking Fab would come back in because I want to show him something. Oh, definitely fudge, Bev. Definitely fudge. So Sam and I were talking about the stuff that we were doing for our teachers, and she wants to make like little baskets again, like we've done in the past. And this year we are going to put fudge in them, but I wanted to do fudge in the cookie cutters. I don't know if y'all are addicted to Pinterest like I am. There was a whole bunch of people doing fudge in the cookie cutters, and they were using, yes, peanut butter fudge. They were using the metal cookie cutters. And so I went looking for metal cookie cutters, and they want an arm and a leg for metal cookie cutters now. And so we were at Dollar Tree yesterday, and you could get 6 of the plastic cookie cutters with the red or green rim around them, the real pretty looking ones, for $1. 6 for $1. So I said, you know, I think we could do it in this. Yes, they are hard to find cheap. I have a slew of them, but I'm not willing to part with them. They're my favorite cookie cutters, so I use those cookie cutters. So we're going to do the fudge in the cookie cutters, only we're going to do it in the plastic ones with the colored outline. And I think it will look fun. And I think the kids will enjoy making them. So I hope I got enough of them, because if not, when we run out, then, you know, stay lovey. Y'all want a surprise before Fab gets here? You ready? Look quick. Okay. Shh. Shh. Hi, Pam. I'm glad you could make it. It is cool, Cheryl. It is super cool. I'm so excited. Okay. It's a very cool book. So, darn it. Pam, I'm going to show it again in a minute. For real. We're waiting on Fab to get back in here. So has everybody got some... Is anybody going to work along with me? Or are we just, you know... Am I just working and y'all are going, ooh and ah? I need to turn off Spotify so the Spotify guy doesn't come in and start giving us a ad. You're oohing and eyeing tonight. That's cool. I'm good with oohing and eyeing. Hopefully the Spotify guy won't go, and to have free Spotify, all you need to do is give me $40 a month. It's probably not $40 a month, but sometimes it feels that way. You can ooh and ah. Plus, Bev was going to mail you junk mail. I don't know if you remember that part from last show, but she was going to mail you stuff. So if Bev hasn't put in the mail her junk mail to you, then you don't have anything really to work with anyway. So it's okay. I'm not blaming you, Bev. You're not why her head hurts. And I'm sure if her head didn't hurt, she could find something to use. You found the jump box in the garage. That's good. That's good. That's a start, right? So see, it's not your fault, Bev. Not at all. Fall themed cards. We have a message from Sigrid. Did somebody go poke Sigrid? Ah. Sigrid has company right now. Sigrid will be here in a moment. So, your picture and chat keep freezing up. You poked her? Thanks, Dawn. Dawn rocks. Okay, it's like 20 after. Fab is just going to have to catch up. That's what I'm thinking. What do y'all think? Okay, here's my book that I got. Can y'all see? Polymer Clay and Mixed Media Projects. I likey. Look at this little guy down here. Isn't he precious? And the book is by Christy Friesen, Friesen. I got it at Amazon.com. I had a wonderful friend who sent me an Amazon gift card. And I had to get this book. She has written several books. Let me see if I can get to the back page. Look at the little turtle. This is probably the #1 reason why I got this book, was this little turtle. Isn't that precious? I know. And it's just super cool. And she has not only her work in here, but the work of several guest artists. And she, of course, links to, you know, their pages where you can go check them out. But she does, let's see if I can get the glare off of that. She has books on dragons, jungles, under the sea, cats, down under, which would be like koala bears and stuff, and birds. And then another one she calls Mixed Media. Polymer Clay and Mixed Media. If you were wondering what to get Leslie Ray for Christmas, I really want the dragon book. and the bird book. I really want them all, but really want the dragon book and the bird book. And it's such a cool picture because she goes through all like the tools that you need to do stuff, and then she goes through the clay and how to make the various clays into looking like the metals for steampunk and that kind of stuff. I mean, and you know, use 2 parts this, 1 part that, or whatever. And then she has step-by-step instructions on how to make all of the stuff. Yes, you are sorry you're back so late. Because I was showing him the book I got with my gift card from Amazon.com. And we couldn't wait any longer. Because it's too cool and we had to share. But like some of this is work that other people have done with polymer clay and steampunk. So, hi Mommy. Let's see. And like this little guy, it's one of the ones that's like a work in progress. Or this one. Is that not cool? Hi, Mommy. I'm showing the book I got with my gift card. Look at this. And those. And what I love about this is it says the steampunk elements don't always have to be overwhelming. Are you listening, Amanda? Sometimes they can be subtle, like in this brooch. The mix of old brass gears and screws contrasts with the crisp, clean blues and whites and doesn't feel futuristically archaic. That's steampunk, baby. So there you go. It doesn't have to be all punked out. Here's the little guy on the cover I showed you that is just too precious for words. And I mean, there's all these little step outs, and it goes bit by bit showing you what to do. And it says, okay, you don't have that? Well, use this instead. Okay, you don't have that? Use this instead. It's just very, very beautiful book to look at and very well written. His face scares you. Okay. I won't show that one again. But look at this dragonfly. Isn't that gorgeous? So, I'm very excited to get started with this. Okay, you may not like this one. This one's a little gargoyle, but I think he's kind of cute. Yeah, has some kind of mechanical, futuristic feel to it. And, you know, it goes, like here, look. It goes all the way through how to build his face and bring him to life. It looks like, Mom, that's not right. Anyway, and then this little guy. There he is. Look at the mousy one, Mom. Here you go. Here's a little dragon that is oh so cute. But look at this mouse squirrel thing. Isn't that funny? I think those are funny. So, I mean, and the elephant, like they have an elephant and he's got a monocle. So, you want to work with paper clay? This is using what do you call that stuff? Polymer clay. Yeah, I love the elephant too. So, I think it's just a fabulous book. I highly recommend it. And this is what's funny, is it says how to make glow-in-the-dark steampunk blobs. So if you have glow-in-the-dark clay, the steps you would take to make little steampunk blobs. Look at these guys. Isn't that funny? Okay. So, but, I mean, really cool stuff. Lots of beautiful pictures. And she even goes how to make casts and casting things. Let's see, casts down here. Looks familiar, doesn't it? And how to make it into pens and stuff. So, lots of fun things. Lots of fun ideas. Steampunkery by Christy Friesen. And it says on the back that it was $14.95, but I know I didn't pay $14.95 for it. I think I got it on sale for like maybe $10. Maybe. So, I'm very excited. Very cool book. Lots of fun stuff there. Yes, it's always cheaper. So, those of you who are running amok, maybe you got your books to start with. I want to show you how to prep some of the envelopes and get them ready to make into tip-ins and stuff. The reason I wanted to do this was, one, because they look like a whole lot of fun, but also because I have lots of little books around me that I like to doodle in, that even though I have a calendar online or whatever that I use to keep up with the family stuff, I also have my handwritten calendar always somewhere. I don't know if y'all do this or not, but like I get books like these. Like this is one that I got at Staples. It usually has a thingy here, and like this one, you can tell it's loved. And so it'll have things in it like designs of projects I'm thinking about, or pictures from Sam because she drew me a picture, or this one has lots of pictures from Sam in it because she kind of gets away with it. And then you'll see something that looks like this, where I've gone down the side here with the dates and written in stuff that needs to be where it's supposed to be. And so, like, this is something I can throw in my purse and carry around, because for a little while my planner that I have online went down and I was having issues with it. But also I'll carry it around and write stuff about, the classes that my children have to take. This one also has spelling words in it. Just various things. And then like this, I was writing all the stuff that for making Sam's clothes and what I needed for Red Ribbon Week and what I had and what I needed, and then, all that kind of stuff. I always have a book like this going. And this one also has in it, let's see what else. This one's almost full. Because I also take it to the grocery store with me and keep up with spending things, and more drawings from Sam. So I always have something like this going. Well, last year I wanted to do a journal of a calendar journal, and I don't think I have it under here anymore. It's back in the bedroom again. But some of you have seen it. I did an art calendar for the month of February. And only for the month of February. Because it was about February that things really took off for me. I got on one design team, and then quickly got on a couple others. And was doing more online presentations. And so I got February done. So obviously that will be on my list to do. But also I want one that is more of a journal that I can write stuff on like I do in this book, but I can transfer it to an art page at the end of the month if I want to work on it just one day a month or something like that. So my art journal that we're going to make out of recycled stuff has to have a place for calendar-y kind of things. I'm a doodler, so I need some spaces for doodling and that kind of stuff. So I need surfaces to do that on. And this doesn't have a lot of surfaces to do that on right now because there's words and pictures in here. So what we're going to do is take some of this out and put stuff in that has those kinds of surfaces. We're going to paint on some surfaces and get them ready to be doodly areas or calendar areas. And so that's the plan. Now, like I said, if you don't have something fat and thick and you don't want your journal to be this fat, that's okay. Maybe you have some old scrapbook magazines lying around. I know I have a bunch, and I started going through and scanning the ideas that I liked and passing the other of the magazines on to people. My mom has done the same thing, made copies of things that she liked and then passed the magazine on. Maybe you're the last person in the pass on and nobody else wants it. Take a couple of those and use either a matte gel or a Mod Podge and glue a couple of magazines together, the back cover one to the front cover another, so that you have a fatter book to do your crafting on. And then also it can be an idea book. And so places in there that, oh, I really liked that scrapbooking thing, keep that as it is. Or I liked that idea, or I like that picture for a color idea. Keep those untouched. And you might want to, put a little note on there that, love this color idea. Or, love this mini book album idea. That kind of stuff. Whereas, and then the rest of them, you can do the altering that we're going to do. Yeah. Like an idea book. So, and a variety of puzzle magazines. Absolutely. That would be an excellent use for those. So, that's what we're thinking, okay? So I'm going to turn this down so I can show you how I want to prepare some of the envelopes. Keep in mind, let me start before I do that by saying this is not my original idea. This is actually a culmination of several people's ideas. I've watched many mixed media artists on Ustream, as well as like Janina from Create Scrapbooks do some different things like this. It's a culmination of artists and creating something from nothing. So even altered book artists have come across things like this, because what they've done is they've taken a book that had no other use to them and created something beautiful out of it. Hi, Vicki, welcome. And so maybe they've taken, and just completely obliterated the text with paint and whatnot and made it a meaningful journal to them, or made it a meaningful piece of art. So it's kind of all these people, we're going to make our own thing. So I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, please write really big, because I may get involved with painting and forget to look up. So, or I have my phone, text me. So we're going to go down. And I had told you to get some envelopes and stuff. Raven, come in. Hi, Raven. Get some envelopes and things like that. And Some of these were return reply envelopes for things, and I like them because they have little windows in them. Some of these have cool interiors. Remember, we were looking at inside envelopes, and we'll make cool little backgrounds and things. So in order to get these ready to use, I'm going to cut the sides off, the ends off. And to do that, I'm just using my cutter. Right now, I'm not really worried about the page size. I know Janina made a whole book out of junk mail. And she, waited till she got all of her pages started before she started really trimming them up. I know I want them to be kind of square. So any funny shapes I'm going to cut off. And this is not going to be useful for this book, this glued edge here. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that off too. So I have this. I like these windows because later on I could go in and put either leave it where you could see what's behind it, or you can do some cool stuff with alcohol inks on them. So yes, Raven, get your envies out. Start trimming with me, baby. We got envelopes to trim. And so I want to trim the edges. If you see any of these things, like this one that says Walt Disney World, and you need some of those in your life, let me know. Because most of our payments and stuff where I work are electronic. And so I hardly ever use the envelopes, and I've taken to saving these, and it can be quite overwhelming, the amount of envelopes that I've saved over the time. So just let me know. I will send you my junk mail as well. And also brochures. I forgot to bring one home today that was just gorgeous. It's a new China brochure, and I feel safe thieving it because we don't have a whole lot of call for people going to China. So the 5 we've got, I'm sure we could miss one and be just handy and hunky-dory. But it is gorgeous. If I'd have had it when I was doing Will's Poe costume, I would have definitely used that to make a dragon scroll with, because it is super, super cool. It was beautiful, beautiful shade of shiny red and had little gold Chinese kind of drawings on it, and it was very cool. You need to see this. Now, what Janina did when she finished hers up, because she, you start off doing this. So I'm going to get a couple of more, and then we'll have a good start. But when she got her book together, she, made them all the same size. And then she put a cover on it that she had fabricated to make it sturdier. Thanks, Fab. She put a cover on it that she had fabricated with some paper towel that she used to blot up, and it was gorgeous. She did some sewing on it, and she made these all little journal pages for a travel book that she had done, and it was just uber cool. So yes, my personal secretary. My first text from Fab was, "I love the nails." Thank you, Fab. So I really like this one. What company is this? Dex. This one looks just really, it's a cool That was a test. Okay, good to know. Let's see if I can find one more that I really like the backing on. Let's see. I like that one. Need one more big window. There we go. Amanda, you don't have to buy her a giant set of Rembrandts. You could buy her a little set, can't you? Don't they come in smaller sizes? You have this, Envy? Oh, look. They thank us. We appreciate your business. That's funny. We don't use them anymore, so that's a premium envelope. I won't have a whole lot of those. Fab. Uh-oh. Why'd your URL get removed, Mommy? You are a moderator. You can change that. You should be able to do that. And to answer your question, Fab, we need as many envelopes as we want. And I want that many. I want that many envelopes, Fab. You need as many as you want. I'm going to check the measurement on this. I got this ruler out because I thought it was easier to see. This book is about 9 inches across and about 10 inches down, okay? And so any of these that are bigger than that would, you know, overflow. Probably none of those will qualify except for maybe this Mondo one here, and we'll trim him down a little bit. Or we may leave him where he flips open and tip him in right here. Has anybody done altered booking before? It's also known as ABs. No, that's moderated booking. Okay. In an altered book, there are several things you can do. This is going to be a little different than how one would normally do an altered book, because usually the book you're starting with is not a paperback book. Usually what you're starting with is a hardback book. And so it's a little bit different in that regard. Okay? I'm going to leave that there. So some of the things you're going to want to do is take some stuff out. And that's what part of the altering is you're going to remove stuff and then put new stuff in. So we may look and say, okay, actually, I'm going to keep this postcard in here, and I'll probably do something with it instead of, normally you would just rip that out. But some of these pages have this real nice border here, and so we can obliterate some of this and make really nice journal pages with them, okay? Yeah, old travel magazines would be great, Bev, or like really gorgeous pictures here. So some of these things I really want to keep because it'll make some cool pages. But some of these things, like here, for instance, where we have, okay, you know, you can do the Golden Eagle plan or whatever, I we'll probably take them out. And there's a couple of ways you can take them out. You can just rip them if you want to. That's always handy. You can use a special X-Acto knife or whatever. I'm just going to use a cheap little knife and just slightly score it here, like this. Now, you just, pull it out. You might want to go closer to it. This one I actually scored enough to where I got 2 of them. And I went ahead and pulled 3 out because I knew that extra one was there. So I had actually cut this one already because you see how nice that is. That one got torn out. And what we're going to do is, go through here. Like, I don't want all these little people's faces in here. And that's quite a bit of this book in the middle here. So this page I'm going to cover because I like America on the back side and that. And so that I don't cut through that, I want to be cognizant and put my little mat up here. And then cut. And you can use, if you want to, something with a metal edge to cut along, just to kind of help steady it instead of just eyeballing it like I did a while ago. Yeah, me too. I actually went, my first altered book that I worked on, and I purchased a book, a celebrations book, because that's just something I enjoy, is celebrations and keeping up with dates. Dates always fascinate me. I have an online calendar. I handwrite my calendar. I have, many, many uses for calendars. And I want some more of this out a little more. And so I found at one of the half-price books a little book that's got all kinds of celebrations. And we did that in kind of a round robin kind of thing where we worked in each person's book and sent it off. Mine never got back to me. So yeah, we didn't do that again because I was very upset with that. But the pages I did in other people's books, I always heavily photographed before I sent them on. And some of their people, they got their stuff back, but some never did. And that's unfortunate. And I was one of the ones that never got my stuff back. Well, Amanda, you've got to admit, though, altering a Reader's Digest book is an upgrade to that book, don't you? I mean, really? It is Reader's Digest, after all. They produce those in such huge mass. I used to work in a library, and there was so many of those. So many of those. I mean, you would just cringe because people would clean out, their grandmother's basement, and 400 of them would come up to the library to go into the collection or, the book sale or whatever. And, oh, Fab, you don't understand how many of these books we had. Oh, my goodness. It was an insane amount of books. Okay, why this really speaks to me, I don't know if you're looking. Okay, anybody who knows me knows I love maps, and you know how I feel about calendars, right? Well, look, each page has a little map, and then it breaks it down, the itinerary, into what you do by the day. This just screams Leslie Ray, and and needed me to cut it up and make it into mine. So this is a fun thing. I'm very excited. Let's see what else we can rip out of here. Okay, I'm going to rip these pages of text out of the back. I know you do, Mom. Not the magazines, though. It's all the books. All those little condensed versions of books. I like the magazine, the Reader's Digest magazine. I was talking about the condensed books. And you can see I'm being really meticulous, right? I mean, real meticulous. Okay, so far you see I've taken some chunks out of there. And I'll take more chunks out in here too. But this is enough to get us started. So now we'll have a place to stick in some of our envelopes and make some cool little flippy things with, okay? You ready for that? So let's get our envelopes ready so we can put them in here. Alright. So I have, some of these have holes, and some of these have windows. The ones with windows I want to handle separately because I want to still use the window. So I'm going to put those on one side. And so we'll take care of a couple of these. See, I didn't cut enough because I only have these two. Fab was making fun of me. And I only have these two that don't have cellophane in them. Okay. Alright. I want to use some gesso on this side. We made safe books out of some of the old Reader's Digest books in Boy Scouts as a recycle project. And it was a lot of fun. I'm using Liquitex acrylic gesso in white. The reason I'm using white is because I kind of want to cover this up. I didn't have to do this. You can prep these envelopes any way you want with stains, paints, sprays. Some I want to do this way so that I have like a white envelope or something that I'm going to put some paint on later. And I want this to kind of cover it. I haven't tried Amanda's recipe for gesso. I will have to try that. What's in your recipe for gesso, Amanda? Or maybe Dawn can tell me. I just have this because this is what I used in Altered Books and had Mommy bring into the store. And so she has a bunch of it. baby powder, glue, water, and titanium white, actual titanium white paint. What that Amanda can't make with baby powder. I left the lines because I like them. Now, if you were doing this the way that Janina did it, you would have stuff under here to catch all this. But I'm doing it the Leslie Ray way, and I'm just gonna. I want to go around these edges because I might want to. I want to make them a little sturdier. Thanks, Amanda. If y'all haven't checked out Amanda's new tutorial section on her blog, she redid that a couple of months ago, and it's really cool. She got it all pretty and organized. Yeah, this isn't runny. This is the Liquitex, but this also is older, so it's not. It's been well loved and used. Okay, I'll set this aside to dry. I'm going to, let's see, I have some in this one. I have a little bit of spritz in this one. I'm going to use a mask on this one. I want to layer some color here. I have an empty mister. That's not going to help. Okay. Y'all have seen me do this a jillion times, but I'm going to do it one more time for you. And I'm going to make, let's see. I'm going to make a mist, and I'm using a Distress Ink re-inker. This one is Walnut Stain. And rather than sticking a whole bunch in here like I normally would, I'm just going to stick a little bit in. It's in a re-inker. So I'm just going to stick in one drop out of the dropper. Okay. And I'm going to put in some Perfect Gold pearls in it. And I'm going to shake. And to do these kinds of mists, remember, you have to have okay, it's going to be a light mist. You have to have what do you call it? Perfect pearls and not Pearl X, because perfect pearls will give you a binding agent where Pearl X won't. Grabbing my heat gun real quick here. We need to have a class just on Pearl X one day, Bev. We were talking about that. Pearl X is a mica powder that is really fun. You can blend it with a lot of different things and get the shine and color, and they have some what they call interference colors. So if you do it on one, if you do it on black, it's one color, and white, it's on another color. Pearl X is a Ranger item, isn't it also? And Perfect Pearls is a Ranger item, but Perfect Pearls has a binding agent in it. Okay, I'm using this mask from Tim Holtz. It's a Compass Rose, and I'm going with my darker spritz here. It's also got a little copper in it. And the neat thing about making these mists with your Tim Holtz stuff is that it takes on this really kind of alcohol, like as in alcohol. Some of both, Raven. The Raven asked, is the gesso, is that to cover the text or to stiffen the paper? Some of both. Okay, I spritzed it on this one and then flipped it over and put the negative on that one. Whoa! And that's why you don't put the heat tool on that, see? We'll fix that piece of paper in a minute. We won't be using that window. Yeah, melt. Right? Hey, that's a thought. We could see if those do shrinky dink type stuff. That would be cool to know when it... I mean, obviously, with it being attached to the envelope, it didn't want to do it, but I wonder if it'll do it on its own. I know you see how fun that is? Can you see the glisten of it at all? Well, if you can't see it, it's really sparkly. Okay, and on the back, I'm going to go ahead and finish kind of covering some of this. And these really do take on a whole new texture. I was watching some of the mixed media artists, and they're using composition books, like just the El Cheapo composition books that you can pick up really super cheap at school time. You know, with the mottled black cover or whatever. You know, you can get them in all different kind of covers now. And they're taking them and using them with gesso and matte gel medium and paint. And I asked them, I said, well, you know, have you combined a couple of pages together? Because visually they looked stiffer, you know. And they were like, no, it's just, you know, all the layers that we've put on there has made that page real thick. And I thought, yeah, okay, maybe, you know. And I played with it myself, and it really works. I mean, they get real heavy and real stiff, and it's just really cool how that works. I couldn't explain it to you. It just does it. So, where this is lifting up here, that's going to be okay. I'm going to probably put a little bit of something on there, either matte gel or, you know, put some strips of paper or something on there to go ahead and tack that down in a minute. So, but you can spritz and do all kinds of fun painting and stamping, and let's do something else. Let's add more stuff to it. Let's see. I have my gold. I know, I love how vintagey it all starts looking. Okay, well, if you don't want to open, we'll do this. And I'm pouring a little, well, apparently a lot, of Folk Art Metallic Gold by Plaid into here. And I'm going to use a little foam brush and paint on my stamp. I have a Boy Scout, so I have a bunch of Compass Rose stamps and time stamps. And see, this is going to stamp like this on here. Okay. So I'm going to put some more paint on here. And on the back side, I'm going to grab my big clock stamp. I love this clock stamp. This is a Stampin' Up set. All of my pieces are not in here because there's pictures of cogs and things, and I forget how many are supposed to be in this set. It's supposed to be 4. 2 actual stamps are in here. That means the other 2 are on my table behind me, because this is probably next to my my set that or my stamp that has the mottled background. This is probably one of my more heavily used stamps that I own. Yeah, I think it's still available too, Fab. I guess you want to know the name of it. It is called Sense of Time. But, I mean, it's a gorgeous clock. It measures 3 inches across. So, I mean, It's huge. So, since this book is going to have dates and times and stuff in it, I thought that would be appropriate. And then I want to spritz my lighter color on here again. And you can see where the gesso is on the paper, how it reacts differently. I'll get this dried real quick and you'll see what I mean. Okay, can you see here? You can see where the gesso, here's the line, was, and where it stops being gesso-y. So, I like that. I think I'm going to go around the edge a little bit with the paint, though, because I like this paint. It needs to have an edge. You could keep layering other colors of inks or, sprays on there. If you have a big collection of the sprays and stuff, you could do that. I've seen it done with lots of different spritzes and inks and whatnot. If you have other stencils, and there's a lady called Journal Artista on Ustream. If you type in Journal Artista like you would Leslie Ray's Crafty Gig, and catch her shows. She does one on Saturday nights, and she has all these yummy stencils. Some are from Club Scrap, which has really inspired me to go dig through, because I did Club Scrap for several years, and I have tons of stencils there. But I also have stencils that I've bought because I just think stencils are cool. And she uses all these stencils in her art journals, and they are just gorgeous. And she does all kinds of layering techniques and painting techniques with them and spritzing, and it's wonderful. Okay, Amanda, I have a thought for you. Next time your back starts really hurting you, use your heat gun, and then while it's warm but not blazing hot, stick it on your back. So I wasn't constantly bending over. I just rested my heat gun behind me. It's nice. It's very nice. Yes, all those stencils. And she has some even that she made with her Cricut, so that she has a pattern that she's cut out and used a stencil material to make it with. But some of them have even used like the drain, like a mat, a sink mat, or a flat colander and stuff to make some really cool stencils with for doing your art journaling and creating some really great textured backgrounds. I'm purposefully keeping this where I can write on it a lighter color. This is slightly different than doing an actual art journal, because probably a regular art journal, an actual art journal, you would want more, you know, stuff going on. But I want to be able to write, or, you know, put a calendar or whatever. So, yummy. Yes, Fab, I'm being careful. Okay? So, this is kind of how I want to keep this. When I went around it, you see I've even got edge on the backside. Okay? And see, we've got some cool stuff going on here. One of the main reasons I kept this paper is because I'm going to put it in something one day. So, alright. Let me show you. We have extracted some papers out of our soon-to-be art journal. And now we're going to do what they call tip-in. And a tip-in is where you're going to add something into it. Sometimes people have need for a tip-in when they've messed up a book and they need to add something back into it, and they'll make a tip-in. I'm going to move some of this stuff. Get my gesso brush over here and my little water bin. Okay. Yeah, a see-through tag would be great there. Some thin acrylic would be fun. I think where I want to put it is here, because I can put something to cover this up. Maybe. Or I may want to come down in here and do some tip-ins. I think I want to do a tip-in here. I'm going to cover this page. So let's get something on this page. Now, I could go at this with gesso all over. I don't want to. I want to use some paper that makes me happy. You know how I feel about basic gray. This is Gypsy. I don't know if Mommy has Gypsy in the store anymore. Gypsy is old. Gypsy is, how old is Gypsy? This says 2006. Gypsy is old. Night Raven. Feel better. I'm glad you came. It's from the 1800s, Mommy? Okay, good to know. Not from the 1800s. It's got beautiful pink and this nice light purpley color. Orange, my favorite, lime green. Some blue, which I'm kind of drawn to. Beautiful red. And then these nice papers that I'm going to cut some strips out of. And these fun flowers and florals. And of course my favorite stripes. I think I'm going to keep this stripe for a Christmas card. I know, I love that green too. And this is one of their papers that they only wrote on one side of the paper. So the back is white. So if I made tip-ins of these also, that would be cool. Look at that stripe. Yum! Okay, I was looking for stickers, there's tags. Okay. And this is when they still made their tags non-adhesive. So these are clear backed and they're perfed. They're not stickers. Okay, that's how old that is. So this is another great use for your old scrapbook paper. Okay, so we said this was about 9 by 10. So I'm gonna cut this down using my big cutter off the screen here a little bit, but you don't need to see me cut 9 by 10. I'm going to cut it a little shorter than 9 to account for where we've torn some stuff out, and also because it's it'll have just a little bit of lip there. So to tip in, you could use your matte gel or your Mod Podge or your 3-in-1, okay? And you want to run along the edge of your paper a very nice thin bead. You could probably use Sakura Hobbycraft 3D Crystal Lacquer here as well. But anything that you want to use, you want it to be able to, glue that page in so that you don't have to worry about it running away. And I'm making a tip in here to, I guess I was gonna cover that whole page, wasn't I? Never mind. I'll show you the tip in a minute. Focus, people, focus. We're covering the whole page. Okay, sorry. Let's cover the whole page. Y'all are supposed to say, hey, yo, you said we were covering the people on that page, remember? Thanks, Vicky. We'll go with that. Leslie Ray has worked about 50 hours this week. My boss is out of town, and it makes me loopy. We'll go with that. So, alright, here we go. The area that I was gluing, I'm going to stick down further in. Okay. And then just glue that bad boy down. Where I didn't get it quite gluey enough down here. And see, you could use any kind of paper. You don't have to use something as nice as basic gray paper. You could use any kind of paper. And I made this a little bit short, and I kind of like what's on the other side here. So I'm going to glue it. I'm going to turn it in like this so that it will have like a little edge. And to make sure I've got this down, I'm going to run my brayer over it. Did I plan the Crafting USA trip while she was gone? Yes, well, yes, I did. No, really. Several of us are going to one day take the transatlantic to go see Fab, and we're going to craft the whole way over. It'll be about a week. You should cover your next catalog holders, Fab. It'll be fabulous. So, because of how this is, we could do this many ways. I stamped it so that it's this way. Now, I could add this way, so it has to open like this. Or I could put it over here, so it's behind here. I really kind of like it going here, because then I could put something in the middle of the page for it to see. So, I'm going to put, since I have my matte gel medium open, I'm going to put on the edge here, on the very edge, a little bead of glue. And I'm being extra messy with my glue tonight. Let's see. Jeez. It's messy, I know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go along the edge of it and kind of smooth it out, because my tip-in is going to be about 1/8 of an inch. When we're repairing books at the library, we don't repair them this way, but we would do a tip-in, because sometimes books, people pull pages out and you have to tip them back in. And so this, when it opens, I think I'm going to go along the edge of it here with my, make a little score for it to fold on. So it'll open that way. I need to make sure it stays glued first before I try to open it. I'll quit trying to open it, because every time I try to open it is when it does that. But see, now I have a place that I could journal, and I have an envelope that I could put like a word here, like maybe I wanted to journal about patience, and I could write patience in here and kind of make it artsy and decorative, and then on the inside, you know, do that. Maybe put some pictures of my kids reminding me to be patient about them, you know, something like that. Now, on this side over here, on this side, I want to cover part of this and leave part of it. And what does it say? Our Boulder office staff. Well, we don't need Boulder office staff, so we can paint over that. Or we can tear some papers and put over it. Okay? Or we can add some of this paper and put over it. I think I'm going to go over it with some gesso. Kind of in a crisscross fashion. And one of the things I want to use this for, I said, is, you know, sometimes, especially if I'm going to do this part here about patience, one of the things that helps me get my patience back and kind of focus myself with is if I have time to Zentangle. I know one of the things that's kind of keeping me sane is being able to sit and doodle. And I haven't really sat and done, you know, a actual Zentangle. I've just kind of doodled and played with some drawings and stuff. But I need to. I've been missing it. So I will, I want to put some places in here to Zentangle. And so what I did was, I have these coasters. When I'm working on on just a drawing pad, like I have this drawing pad here, and if I'm working with Sam pictures in it, apparently, if I'm working on a Zentangle, and she's drawn a lot of pictures for me in my drawing pad, in Mommy's drawing pad. Anyway, so if I wanted to Zentangle here, you know, because she drew on that page, I would take for my square and put this where I can draw. But I might want to do some here, or I might want to do a circle Zentangle. So I'm going to, with my pen, where I want my square for my Zentangle. Oh, thanks. These I got at the bar and grill we have here, called the Agave, and I have some rectangle ones too. I never drink at the bar, but I always go and steal their coasters. So I want to be able to have a spot here to do my my stuff on. So I'm gonna paint myself a gessoed spot to tangle. I still see me, but, you know, I'm here. But I need some more gesso. Not a bad thing. Mom, do you still have gesso in the store? In case people go looking for gesso and don't want to do Amanda's homemade gesso. used to carry Mod Podge too, but I think I finally ended up using it on all the projects. My picture's moving, Vicky. I'm using Liquitex gesso, Amanda. Because I didn't know about Amanda's mad scientist creation of homemade gesso. Hi, Bernoulli's Attic. Nice to meet you. I hope I said that correctly. Wonderful. Welcome. I do all kinds of different things. This is something I wanted to do. When I'm supposed to be busy doing other things, I I tend to want to do something that has nothing to do with that. And I really wanted to do this a couple of weeks ago when I needed to be sewing Halloween costumes and getting my kids ready for trick-or-treating. And so I put myself off, and I hope y'all are enjoying watching me paint and enjoying myself, because I'm really enjoying doing this. And yeah, I'm having fun. I have 2 kids. I always have a pile of laundry. I have a husband. I'm just grateful we don't work for the dairy anymore, because that was even more laundry. So, hi Pam. I do some crocheting, and I do card making, and today we're just cutting loose and making an art journal to do stuff in. I showed them earlier I do, hand calendar as well as my own calendar. And see, I can be able to paint or put some of my own calendar in here as well. Yes, we do, Bev. We do have some girl things planned. We're going to do some baking while the boys are out and some cooking together. We're going to go through her toys and get rid of some and reorganize some, and play Barbies while we're doing it, because we like to play Barbies. We'll probably do, when I'm going through some of her toys, we'll do a photo session, like if we put away some toys that she really likes, and she, do that so we can keep up with it. I'm going to do I'm going to put the pictures in here. I took a bunch of pictures at Halloween, and I'm going to put my pictures in my my book that I made, so that I can do my blog post on that and get that finished. And then I've got a couple of projects I've got to work on for next week. Oh, I'm glad they got it fixed, Pam. I would try to sell all of you some HEB cards. Say I'm selling HEB cards for school, but most of you don't have an HEB since it's a Texas store. So I won't be selling you HEB cards after all. So, but that is one of their fundraisers, is $25 HEB cards, and HEB gives them a portion of the money. Y'all see how this gesso is just kind of blending in here? That's kind of cool. I like that. Now, for my Zentangling, I could come back over this with a light color or something instead of adding some more gesso to it. And kind of, you know, give it a nice, fun thing. What I do want to do is go along the edge. I don't have my good little brushes out. Let's see here. I want to go along the edge here with this light green I have. Where am I in Houston? No, I'm not in Houston. I am kind of in the middle of Texas. I'm in what they call the Cross Timbers region. I'm north of Austin, about 2.5 hours. I'm to the southwest of Fort Worth, about an hour and a half. Lots of dairies, lots of nice timbery things to be allergic to. We've been nationally acclaimed for the aliens. And yes, I said aliens, and I don't mean the ones from Mexico. If you follow the UFO chasers and all that stuff, they were down here a couple of years ago. Because people saw aliens in their pasture. Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, it's entertaining, to say the least. I love living here. Claims to fame: Ty Murray, the rodeo guy, and Jewel, the singer. You know, they're married, they have a baby. They live in Texas. We live in the same community, or the same town. Martha Stewart. The color green I'm using, in case you're wondering, is Ceramcoat Lime Sorbet. It's very yummy. And I may not get any of that stuff done because I may be playing with this because I'm having a lot of fun. Which is totally why I put this off. Because I know myself. Is Mommy in the room still? Because I don't think she's here. I think she's somewhere else. Which is fine. I am planning, I have a smaller book, and I try to do something. Mama sends me quotes and stuff throughout the year of things that she likes that speaks to her. And I think I'm going to do a smaller book like this and put some quotes and stuff in there for her. Bev, what it does is it counts all the people in the room. Like I'm seeing like maybe 12 actually here, but also it will show people that might be looking at it through whatchamacallit, through other means. Like maybe they're looking at it through my Facebook and they're not logged in, they're just watching it, and it will count everybody who's come to see it. It's interesting. I had like 60 RSVP that they were going to be here. So that's pretty cool that I have that many showing as viewers. I'll have to see when we get done how many actually it shows actually came. So I like this page, how it's going. Anybody have thoughts? See, I'll have a space here to Zentangle. And then if I want to, I can do something decorative here, either with, you know, some of these cutting out and putting on here or whatever. I can call it whatever I want to. And that'll be fun. But, I mean, it's just taking a page out of a book and creating it into something else, making it better for what you want it to be. So, if I want to, I could take, say we took several of these. See, this is going to open now because it's dry, because I finally had the patience to let it dry. So I have all of this space here to write on, and this, and I might want to carry some of this green over into here in a little while. And then, so I can, you know, like I said, I could write a word in here, and it gives me all this extra space for journaling. If you wanted lines, you could either draw your lines in, or you could actually take lined paper and put it on there and make that. Probably after all this dries, one of the things I will do is make a border around it with doodles. So, you're hoping not to need the heater this winter. So y'all think you can do this? Use your old scrapbook paper and gesso and glue and whatnot. I'm going to dry that a little bit. And so see, you've got a surface now, I mean, for anything. I mean, the part about the book was that, you know, there was these things in the way. Oh, won't this be cool with the tree? Can y'all see that tree? Won't that be a cool page to play with? But, you know, I could take favorite pictures that I like with the kids. I wouldn't even have to print it on anything special. I could print it on just, you know, a piece of cardstock and stick them in here because it makes me happy, and I'd have something to look at and, you know, remind myself of how cute they are when they're not being, you know, obnoxious. So I see that I have I want to bring this gold in over here. And I want to do it like this. Sam the Mantha is thinking about how she can get control, and she fell asleep because she so did not have control earlier. she was not in a happy place. I told her to go think about it, and she came back and she said, I thought about it. And I said, I don't think so. Go think about it some more. Sometimes. Everything has been very dramatic for her lately. She told me yesterday that Daddy had gotten my Christmas present and did not get her one, and she was unhappy with him. And I reminded her that Christmas was not here yet, and she said yes it is, because Gaia has her Christmas tree up. To which I replied, Gaia's mother is a loon, and no, it is not Christmas. My mother said I probably shouldn't say that, because, yeah, that's probably going to come back to haunt me later. Especially that day that we have, you know, the family party, and I'll probably meet Gaia's mom, and it'll come across as, oh, so you think I'm a loon. Nice. But, you know, I'll let you know how that goes after Thanksgiving. Because we have one of those days coming up where, you know, family members get to go up there. But anyway, so I had her convinced that finally that Christmas had not come yet, that no, we are not putting up the tree until after turkey, and that it's okay. Right? So, yeah, either I'll have a black eye because she didn't appreciate the loon comment, or she'll laugh it off too and agree that she is loony to have her Christmas tree up before Thanksgiving. But, you know, who am I to judge? Because she may be one of those people on the tour of homes, and I can't imagine how much prep goes into that to you know, get your tour of homes ready fast and furious like. I agree, Mama. And since I don't have turkey until Saturday or Sunday, my tree won't go up till after that. Or my lights on my house. My lights on my house also will not go up before that. One of my friend's husbands decorates lights on a house. That's his job. And he has already started doing that. I saw him this weekend and I was like, really? People are getting their lights on their houses? And he's like, yep. And then we discussed my pet peeve on lights, which is sloppy lights, where people just stick them up there and they don't make them go the right direction or anything. And yeah, I hate driving in neighborhoods where they've got their lights all funkitated and not on there right. It's like, if you're going to put lights on your house, please do it correctly. Even Bill knows to, you know, do it straight. Because it annoys the wife and she's going to make you go back up there and do it again. I really like how this is going. Before I leave, this is bugging me, so I'm going to do it now. I'm going to go around this because it's dry enough that I can. Yikes! Sorry, guys. Okay. Now, keep in mind, I probably won't go into this much detail all at once per page as I'm getting things blocked in. I'll probably, you know, afford myself some places to do some doodles and put in my papers and my envelopes, and then and then we'll go, it'll go faster if I have spaces set aside for things. I want to work on this again next time we meet, which is going to be the 4th Friday, which is Black Friday. I realize it is Black Friday. But, this is a date with myself as well as with y'all. And I'm important. I want to keep my date with myself. So, I will be kid-free. And I'll have a husband who may be hunting that day. So, it'd be really cool if he could go hunting. So, I will be keeping my date with this. Same bat channel, same bat time. I'm planning to have gumbo on Thanksgiving. I tried to have gumbo for Thanksgiving, but Mom said no, we needed turkey. So, turkey it is. But Thanksgiving Day, when it's just me and the husband, we'll have gumbo. Dawn, you've never had gumbo? Really? I almost had gumbo for lunch. Gumbo for lunch was an option. Oh, we just have to have dressing? Nah, let's go ahead and have, and tomatoes. Let's go ahead and have turkey. Sam and I are going to try a new recipe tomorrow. And, with it, we're going to have some fresh asparagus. They had some gorgeous fresh asparagus in the produce section yesterday. And so, we'll have some asparagus with that. We have for the 4-H, what we call the wild game supper. And it allows the kids, if any of them have, some actual, wild game, deer, moose, elk, dove, whatever, they can bring that and share with people. But also, the wild cow and chicken are also available to eat. And this year, Bill and Will want to make jambalaya and bring that, which of course will have, wild sausage and wild chicken in it. Maybe a little wild pig, who knows. So, And actually, we do have real wild pig, so we could put wild pig in there, and it would be good. But oh, that would be a good idea, Mom. I didn't think about sauce piquant. Yes, yes, Bev. He hunts. Excuse me. Hang on. I have to see if I have the recipe in my emails, Mama. You may have to send me sauce piquant recipe. I haven't had sauce piquant in forever. Okay. I'm going to finish doing this around this and then probably wrap up. Actually, I'll probably still keep painting and playing. But just visually, I needed this done. I'm sure Amanda understands that I needed this done before I could wrap up. Love you, Mama. Glad you came. Thank you. Tell Daddy love him. And happy Veterans Day. And rub the fuzzy Riley boat ears. You okay, Fab? I saw the pictures of Gramps and Gramper and Lewis. Have you added another photo to your new blog? Mommy has a new blog for her photos. I shared it on my fan page for everybody. Please give her some love. Mama, if you want to put the link to your new blog in the thing, that would be wonderful. I don't have it memorized yet. Mama has been doing photography for a very long time, all of my life, and apparently longer, as I learned last night when she posted or was talking to Daddy about photos that Daddy had said something about, well, where are you in this picture? Or, you know, where are pictures of you? Because there was lots of pictures of my uncles when they were little. And she said I was usually the one taking the pictures. So apparently she's been a photographer for a very, very long time. And I think she does awesome. So anyway, here is what I did with my envelope here. Remember very well I could have put it here. I could have stacked a bunch of them together because, you know, Fab was getting worried about how many envelopes I had. But I could have had a bunch of them stacked together where they would make their own, you know, sheet of stuff. Since I didn't deal with these with the windows tonight. You're welcome, Mommy. When we meet again on the 25th, I'm going to do that. And, of course, it'll be recorded so you can see that. But I really like how these two have turned out. And then this is my page that I made for me to Zentangle in. So I have this spot to Zentangle in. And I'll probably put some decorative stuff here to go with it. You know, carry over some more clocks over here or whatever. Some more things about time. So you like? There's my Zentangle, my place to tangle box. So like I said, a fun and easy way to use your junk mail. Use your books and stuff. And remember, I'm going to take out some more pages here so I can fill it up full of more yumminess. So when you come back in 2 weeks, I'll have more pages laid out and painted on and colored. And see, like this page with just this. This is very serene, and I really like that. And what does it say up here? It's talking about the briefing that you get as a traveler. Probably I won't keep that information, but instead what I will do is put like my own quote there that I would like. So, you know, it'll be fun. It'll be full of stuff like this. I'm so excited. Amanda's happy dance. So, and then, you know, I'll get around to the cover. So what I'm hoping is when you see me in 2 weeks, I'll have a lot more of these pages done in here, and maybe we can sneak around with the cover and talk about some of the pages that I've done. So apparently I've been intriguing enough to keep the fabulous Fab up until 4:15 UTC time. Right? Is it UTC? GMT? LMNOP? GMT time. Sorry, Fab. Have I mentioned that I'm not really good with time zones? I'm not. Sorry. UTC is for the Army. Okay. Thank you, Fab. I appreciate you doing it. It's something I've been wanting to do, and so we've just kind of scratched the edge there, scratched the surface. So I promise the rest of my life will not be spent sharing this with you on video, but I do want to share some more with you on it at the end of the month. Maybe this could be something for you to do to start the new year in. You know, put some calendar stuff in there, put some idea pages in there, you know, your book for your ideas, or, you know, whatever. I know I've already started making my goals for the new year, and I want to you know, stick with them. I want to do some of the journaling things that I want to do, and this is going to help me keep my mind active enough to do that, and hopefully get all my projects done. Some fun news for you. I learned last night that the Crafty Ribbons design team, for the challenge team that I'm on, we have been asked, the whole team have been asked to stay on for another 3 months. It's a small team. We have just a 3-month gig, but they asked us to stay on for another 3 months, and I think almost all of us have said we are. So I'm excited about that because you know how I love Crafty Ribbons. I'll show you, if you haven't seen my project that I did for this month's challenge, or this 2-week challenge is anything but a card. Anything but a card. So I made this. And this is super fun. It's got the yummy Crafty Ribbons. Let's see if you can see them up close. Here. I love this. I'm hoping they will send me more boxes. Their ribbons like these are printed in such a manner that it's kind of like how, you know, they used to do printings on t-shirts and stuff. And those are really fun. And then they have these beautiful velvet embossed ribbons and stuff. But these boxes are what their beads come in. And they're great little boxes. And so I did 3 of them in a row. Like this. Let's see. Like that. So, I'm not keeping this one. This one I'm sending over to them because they do a lot of shows. And they've asked us to decorate up some of these boxes to keep. Or for them to use in their shows. The one I'm keeping is this one. This one is for my buttons, which these are Crafty Ribbons buttons. And so I made a little button box, covered it with some denim, and it's very cute. These are the colors of buttons. They're the primary colors. Love this. So that's what I'm doing with them. Having lots of fun, getting to play with yummy ribbons. If you live in the UK and have ribbons there, they're awesome. Give them a try. They do ship to the US, and yeah, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, if nobody has any questions, I will close the show, and then I can come back and chat for a while since my daughter's asleep, or whatever you would like. I thank you for staying up, Fab. I appreciate it. I really do. And Amanda, I think she's still in there somewhere. And Miss Cheryl. Miss Cheryl's been quiet, but she's there. And Miss Pam. Thank you for joining me, Pam. And of course, Dawn, it's always a pleasure. I always love having you in my life. So thank you all for coming. I appreciate it very much. Here, wait a minute. We've got Emma Love. And this is Emma, my boss's dog. Say bye, Emma. Bye. Okay. I love you too. Thank you. Okay. I'm babysitting. That's our baby. The human child goes to somebody else and I get the dog. So, alright. Thank you for coming. As always, many of the items I get and use are available through Cut and Paste Memories. That's my mommy's store. I need to add on there eventually her new blog for her photography, because y'all want to see that. And then you've been watching Leslie Ray's Crafty Gig every second and fourth Friday of the month at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can follow me on leslieray.blogspot.com or on Leslie Ray's fan page. I'm also Leslie Ray on Twitter. You could just Google Leslie Ray and see what all kinds of fun Leslie Rays you get. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving, those of you in the U.S., and have a wonderful November. I will be here on the 25th, which is Black Friday, and the day after the U.S. Thanksgiving. Thank you again.